Now that you have clicked on this video, please wait and watch till the end. This is not just another war. This is one of the most explosive, emotional, and misunderstood conflicts in the world today. Israel, Gaza, tragedy, terror. On one hand, we do have a democracy under siege. On the other hand, we have a humanitarian catastrophe with children caught in crossfire. Can you actually support Israel and at the same time care for the innocent lives in Gaza? The answer may be yes, and here's why. This isn't about hate, this is about the actual truth. This is about cutting through the noise and letting the history most media will not. So let us understand the background at first. Back in 2005, Israel pulled out of Gaza. Completely, no soldiers, no settlers, they were gone from there. People hoped this would lead to peace, but instead, Hamas took over. By force, they executed their rivals, took the control, and turned Gaza into a military zone. Billions of dollars were poured into Gaza, not for schools or hospitals, but rockets, tunnels, and terror. Thousands of missiles have rained down on Israeli cities, targeting civilians. And Israel, it still sent aid, still sent water, still held back from any kind of war until October 7th, 2023. The massacre that changed everything. On that morning, Hamas didn't just launch rockets. They crossed the border by land, by air, by sea. They went house to house, killing families, burning children alive, kidnapping infants, babies, and grandmothers. This was the deadliest days for Jews since the Holocaust happened. And no, that was not resistance. There were no Israeli troops in Gaza. This was not about any occupation. That was purely evil. And Israel, as a democratic country, as a sovereign country, had to respond. Israel's mission was clear: destroy Hamas, not Palestinians. But Hamas, as a terrorist group, hides behind civilians, hospitals, schools, and mosques. They want people to die because dead civilians fuel their propaganda. Meanwhile, Israel drops leaflets, sends text messages, even makes phone calls, warning people to evacuate before a strike. No army does that. No other army does that anywhere in the world. You can just check. But fighting terrorists in a city, it's like fighting in a booby-trapped maze. Tunnel networks, human shields, and the world watching every single move. Yes, there is a humanitarian crisis, but why? Because Hamas hijacks and aid trucks. They steal food, sell it on the black market, use ambulances to move fighters. And still, Israel allows hundreds of aid trucks through, in coordination with Egypt and the United Nations, with the United States. But Hamas fires on every corridor's means meant to bring relief. So yes, people are suffering, but it's Hamas that's turning Gaza into a battlefield. And look what happened today, how Gaza is looking like. It is a disaster. So, and I often imagine the double standard of certain world forums like the United Nations, the OIC, and some European countries. The double standard they have. When Russia bombs Ukraine, the world sends weapons. When Syria gassed its own people, barely a peep. And when Israel defends itself, suddenly it's genocide. Suddenly it's restraint. Why? Because Israel is judged by a standard no other democracy faces. And that hypocrisy should outrage anyone who cares about the truth. But no one does that. Is Israel a perfect country? No, but it's a democracy. A democracy with LGBTQ right. A free press, Arab judges, Arab lawmakers. It admits and owns its mistakes. It investigates its own army. Now Hamas, on the other hand, is a dictatorship. No elections in the last 17 years in Gaza. Dissenters are executed, women are silenced, children are taught to die. So ask yourself, which side reflects your values? Now, as an Indian, I do understand about terror and terrorism because India knows terror. We have lived it in Mumbai, in Pulwama, in Pahalgam, Kashmir, and many other places. When 26/11 happened in our country, they didn't just kill Indians, they hunted Jewish people too. We still remember Moshe. We remember who stood with us that time. And we know what terror looks like. We know that Hamas is not a freedom fighter or not a militant group. They are not so different from ISS or LET. Now, if we talk about our relations like India and Israel, we have built something deeper than trade. We share trust, we share technology, intelligence, values. We don't need lectures from the West. We see clearly and we stand clearly. Now, we need to understand this very clearly that this is not a war between equals. It is a war between a democracy and a terror regime that uses its own people as human shields. We should support Israel not because we hate Palestinians, but because we believe in the truth and because we believe that Palestinians deserve better than Hamas. The suffering in Gaza is real, which you see today, which we all can see. And we should care deeply. But if we care, we must name the cause, the root cause of all these. Peace begins with clarity. It begins with moral courage. And it begins with rejecting terror in every of its form. So let's cut through the lines. And let's cut through the noise. And start some honest conversations. It is very easy to criticize Israel since it is trying to destroy and eliminate Hamas forever so that they can ensure that an attack like October 7th does not repeat itself. And Israel is being unreasonable for some European nations and for some Islamic countries. Okay, so that's a kind of double standard which I think is prevailing among some nations, just because some of the political leaders in some of the countries need some vote banks to secure. They will say anything they want in front of the media. They will take any actions to, appease a certain section of people from whom they expect to get their votes and win the upcoming elections in their respective countries. But the truth will not change, because deep down, each and everyone can feel that Israel is correct. And if Israel does not destroy Hamas today, then another attack, just like October 7th, may happen again. It's may not be in Israel, but maybe on some European countries, based on what we can see. So that is something which we all should ponder upon in our thoughts, and we should introspect that before we comment in any Twitter post or in Instagram or the videos that we watch on YouTube. What is it that we are exactly expecting out of Israel? To stop the siege, to withdraw its armed forces from Gaza and let Hamas regroup and plan another attack like October 7th? Is that what we're expecting? Well, as an Indian, I'm not expecting anything like that. Israel must fight till the time Hamas is fully eliminated, and European countries above all should understand this. So, if this video actually helped you see things more clearly, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. This channel is about the truth in a time of noise. We are just getting started here. Hit the bell icon so you never miss a perspective that matters. And I want to hear from you. The comments are open. Let's debate. Let's discuss respectfully and truthfully. Even if you do not agree to certain points of mine, please do comment down below. And if you agree to some of the points and if you think that I have missed to add something, please do comment down below and let me know. I will reply to each and every comment. See you in next one. Jai Hind.